What's up, everybody? This video is going to be a little bit of a different video compared to my other videos. This isn't going to be about technical analysis or anything like that. Today, it's just going to be a short video talking about the importance of setting rules for yourself. So, day trading is like I've said before, it's something that you can't just. It's not a get rich quick scheme, right? It's something that you got to be consistent with, something you got to be disciplined with in order to be successful in doing so, right? And that all starts with setting rules for yourself and journaling what you're gonna do, what your goals are, journaling what you've done for the day, like whether or not you won your trade, lost your trade, or you didn't trade at all, stuff like that. So I'm just gonna be basically going over what goals you should set for yourself as a day trader, as a beginning day trader, um, what rules you should set for yourself, and how to journal, right? Because that's an important part. Journaling is one thing, but journaling properly is something else, right? And personally, journaling has been one of the most important and most beneficial parts in my journey. And it might seem cliche, but I always would go back and check my journal to see my progress over the last couple months or last couple weeks of trading, right? Now, to start, we're gonna go over what goals you should have for a beginner day trader, right? So, as a beginner, I would say your first goal is to make at least, let's say you start with $100,000 paper trading account on TradingView. Your goal would be to make at least, like, let's say 10%. So it would be $110,000. So it means $10,000 profit on a consistent basis, right? When I say $10,000 profit, I'm not saying, oh, full port your account and just try to hit 10,000 as soon as possible. I'm saying prove to yourself that you're good enough at day trading that you're able to move on to the next step, because anybody can just get lucky, right? That's gambling. I want you to prove to yourself that you're consistent. I want you to risk like maybe one mini per trade until you can get to $10,000 in profit. So that would be your first goal. And the way you're going to journal that is every single day when you decide to trade, right? When you open up the market, the first thing that you're going to do after your trading session is done, go to your journal. Journal out, maybe today was a slow day. Journal out, today was a slow day. Maybe there wasn't any news. Price action wasn't very strong. I traded at this. Make sure you're journaling what time of the day you traded at, what date it is, right? So, say you traded New York Open. I journaled, or I traded New York Open this morning. My what I was looking for. So, I would put a one and be like, today I was looking for price to react off this high time frame for value app or this high time frame draw on liquidity. Um, it reacted off of it, and then we created an inverse for value app maybe, and then I waited for an entry, entered my trade, and then I won the trade. Something like that. Explain what your thought process was going into the day, what your thought process was during the trade, and what it was after. So, if say you lost the trade, for example, you can journal, hey, I had a great setup, everything followed my rules, and unfortunately, we just lost the setup. And sometimes that's just what happens. Like, all traders will lose. There's nobody who has a 100% consistency rate. Doesn't matter what people say on social media. Nobody wins all the time, right? But it's important to understand why you may have lost the trade. Maybe there's something you missed. Maybe you were trading Nasdaq and you didn't trade or check the S&P and see that the S&P was looking more bullish while the Nasdaq was looking bearish, even though you're trading the Nasdaq and you decided to take shorts but got stopped out before price started running your full TP, right? Something like that. So make sure you know why you may have lost a trade, and then vice versa, maybe why you won a trade. Explain, I followed exactly what I was, my rules, and everything went according to plan. Maybe I took profits early, maybe I set partials at specific price or at a next swing high, and then targeted full liquidity, something like that. So that's what I would do for daily journaling. And then this is additional. I personally do this myself, but it's not something you have to do. Is like by the end of the week, after a full week of day trading, and be like, okay, this is what I've learned. This is what I'm looking to learn for next week. This is what I'm looking for in this upcoming week, whether or not there's news or like something like CPI coming out where price will be moving very volatile during that time, stuff like that. And then finally, make a page for your rules. Your rules are going to be the most important thing in day trading that you will try to follow to the best of your ability the entire time, right? So your rules are going to consist of, my personal rules is that if I take a loss, if I take a loss from one of my trades, I don't look at the markets for the next hour, right? I'll journal my trade, but I'm not gonna stay on the market and try to make that money back, because that's where traders lose, and that's where your emotional stability takes control. Your emotional state takes control of the trading, right? Because anybody can trade, but not everybody can stay stable emotionally when they take that loss, right? So one of my rules is, once I take a loss, get off the markets for at least an hour. Another one is, I'm only going to take 3, maybe 4 trades a day, right? So I'm going to minimize how many trades I take, so that minimizes how much potential loss that I can have, right? So if I've taken 3 trades a day, say all 3 hit, for example, all 3 of my trades hit full TP and I made good profit in the day, I'm done trading. Even if I see a great setup later in the night, maybe during Asia session, I'm done trading for the day, just because it's part of my rules, right? It's part of what staying consistent is about, right? So one of my rules is just, I have a max amount of trades I can take a day, max amount of money that I can risk per trade. So say I'm trading NQ, I'm only gonna be maximum using 5 or 10 micros, right? And you'll learn more about micros and minis through the next videos, but I'll only be trading 10 micros per trade max, and that's the maximum, right? So stuff like that. Make sure you're journaling, make sure you're setting your rules, and make sure you're being consistent with your trading. So I hope that helped. If you have any questions, join the free Discord server in the bio, and good luck with your trading.